Lawyers for Donald Trump argued in court Thursday that a ruling that Trump's communications with former Vice President Mike Pence around January 6 should be found to be immune and would crater the new indictment against him. They told a federal judge the Trump-Pence talks about the vice president's role could unravel the government's entire case against the former president, with the November election once again looming over timing decisions in the blockbuster case. If in fact the communications with Vice President Pence, which are all over this indictment, if in fact these are immune, then that entire indictment is improper, Trump lawyer John Lauro told Judge Tanya Chutkan at a hearing Thursday. If Your Honor decides that that is immune, then the whole indictment craters, he said. In a case that once looked to put Trump on trial over January 6, even amid his run for the White House, Trump's team wants the opportunity to go first and issue a briefing calling to dismiss the new indictment against him. Special counsel Jack Smith obtained a new superseding indictment from a grand jury last week following a Supreme Court ruling on the immunity issue that threw a wrench into the case. Prosecutors want to keep things moving, filing their own brief in about 3 weeks and getting the chance to share more of the evidence they have obtained. As they did when the case first came up a year ago, government prosecutors are pushing to move forward. Judge Chutkan bristled when Lauro brought up the information being put into the public record at a very sensitive time in our nation's history. Chutkan took that as Lauro invoking the election and asking her to stall procedures because of it. I understand there is an election pending. I've said before, and I say again, that the electoral process and the timing of the election is not relevant here, she admonished him. Lauro calls the Mike Pence communications, where Trump told his VP he had the authority not to accept votes for Joe Biden certified by states, constitute a gateway issue. He wants Chutkan to make a decision on that before getting into other evidence that prosecutors have gathered. If you decide this issue, then all of that briefing never takes place, he said. Chutkan also decided she will let Lauro file a motion arguing that Smith's appointment was unconstitutional. But she expressed skepticism, noting it was based on a concurring opinion by Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas and a ruling by a district judge in Florida on the same issue in the classified documents case. She asked why that would warrant me going against binding D.C. Circuit precedent. Chutkan has been presiding over the case and was keeping it on a fast track until the Trump team upended the timeline by going to the Supreme Court with their claims of presidential immunity from prosecution. The High Court's July ruling set it to lower courts to weigh which actions fall within the official acts that enjoy absolute immunity protections. Smith refashioned a superseding indictment that jettisoned a key part of the narrative: Trump's alleged use of top Justice Department officials to interfere in the state vote count. But he kept the 4 main charges that Trump interfered in the 2020 elections in an attempt to stay in office. Defense lawyers are readying still more motions to dismiss the case outright. Among the challenges Trump's team signaled they would file is one claiming that Smith's appointment was unconstitutional. That argument held sway with Trump-appointed Judge Aileen Cannon, who is overseeing the classified documents case in Florida. She dismissed the case, although Smith's team is appealing and an outside watchdog group is seeking to remove her from the case.